O feels like depression and grief. It just feels like all the color was leached out of this film and out of this woman's face. She looks deathly. She's so pale that she literally looks dead. It's a really creepy effect, especially when they add the contact lenses. She feels very otherworldly, very inhuman. The angel that appears brings the only real color to this film, which I thought was a really cool idea, a really cool effect. The reveal at the end that this woman is actually a fallen angel is really effective. This reveal of the gruesomeness of her bloody wings. It's not the only little touch of gore in this, but I think it's the most shocking, and I think it works really well in this film, especially at the end. I thought that both actors, their facial expressions really drove this film, and without any dialogue at all, they're conveying so much emotion through their faces. So such great acting on their part, and overall a really beautiful film. I really enjoyed this one a lot.
Oh, kind of answers the question of what would it look like if Bjork was like goth. Like, this was a very dark, haunting piece that accomplishes a lot visually, because the music is somewhat repetitive, but visually you're able to do so much and follow this narrative of like angst and mourning and suffering, and then the angel of death and the fight with that. And visually, I think you chose when to use color in a really interesting way and how that shifts throughout the piece. I think the way you capture the character's eyes is very interesting, and I think it's able to communicate a lot visually. And overall, I think it matches well with the music in the background, and you're able, it's almost silent movie-esque. Like, there's quite a lot happening, and you're able to get that story without any words. So I really want to commend you for that, because at least silent movies had text and this doesn't, and you're able to do it just as effectively. So overall, a very, very well done piece.
Excuse me. All right, I just finished watching Oh, which I thought was an incredibly striking visual piece. In particular, obviously the lead performer, it was just the makeup and the design and the setting and the aesthetic of the environment. It was just so enthralling. It was a mix of sort of gritty and grounded and dirty, as well as sort of ethereal and magical and spiritual. And I thought it was a real great balance of dark and light, and there was a lot of ways you could interpret what you were watching, which I thought contributed to the mood and the feel of the song. In particular, I felt like the lead female performer was really great in sort of reflecting a range of pain and emotions, even though she wasn't saying a lot, and she was sort of just being moody and being a sort of a central subject, relative to what was going on with a narrative that doesn't really have a plot. You don't really know why the man shows up or who he is or who they are or what's happened, but the energy and the mood of the piece is very, very strong, and I thought that it created a great space for the song to sort of breathe and carry and create a cinematic feeling that created a bridge between the two ideas that made the overall concept feel very cohesive. So I thought it was well done, well shot, the costume design in particular and the makeup obviously was a standout, and I think it created a very sinister while also beautiful product that I ended up enjoying.
This video was packed with striking imagery, just really lovely work, both through the cinematography and the hair and makeup and wardrobe. All those things were just done with such creative flair, I guess. But to really great effect too. It just has this wonderfully bizarre quality to it that really compels you to engage and to watch and just be unable to take your eyes off it. Really impressive work. I enjoyed this one.
For the film Oh, well, the main character is mystical, has intense facial expressions, has fantastic makeup artistry done as her wardrobe, and the music has a real sense of foreboding. I like the setting of the atrium that's in ruins, but it still lets in light, and how this woman creature still lives here in this atrium. Her photo album that she gazes through is empty, and so you wonder if her life is over. Has she died? She's visited by an angel, and is this the angel of death? He seems to beckon her to come with him, and she refuses. So it leaves you to wonder, maybe she is refusing death and choosing life. It's very mysterious, really interesting.
This was very, very cool. Very unique. I can say I've not seen, a piece like this before. It was very well done, very well conceived, very well executed. The music was very, very cool, very well composed and very well produced and executed. And the visuals went really terrifically well with it. Such a unique thing, having these pale people, this woman and this angel kind of facing off of this abandoned building. The visuals were astounding. I love the photography. It could have all been still photographs. It was each frame was just really beautiful, beautifully composed, and really nicely done. The actors did a great job, just conveying this bizarre spiritual story that takes place between two people in this enclosed abandoned building in the middle of nowhere. Really, really nicely conceived, really nicely executed. The actors did a great job. The flaming sword was really cool. The angel looked awesome. The lady, with their pale skin, the makeup, and the wardrobe for both characters looked great, and really augmented the performances really nicely. Really loved seeing the flaming sword stuck there, like after the angel is left and the flaming sword stuck there in the stone and burning at the end. What a stark and cool image that was. So yeah, great job on this. It's very, very cool, very avant-garde, and very, very, very nicely conceived and executed. So good luck with this. I hope it gets out there and gets seen. It's very nice.
I really enjoyed the visuals. Very creepy, really spooky. It gives off the vibe of like the zombie movie scenario, especially the makeup and costumes of the characters. I thought it was really cool because it sparked my imagination, wondering what the backstory of these different characters was. And it's definitely interesting how more of the visual details are revealed to have that story of what I think is happening between the characters change. Definitely curious to see this as a full-length story with a bit of backstory and dialogue and context, because I think just even visually how it was presented was a really interesting and compelling story. Absolutely loved everything visually about this.